Hello. All right. For those who don't know, they finished up the project this morning, actually, around 5:30. They pumped the last load with the Dodge Island. They're in the process of demobilizing the equipment down to Kill Devil Hills. So they're taking all the short pipeline and the dozers and all that and bringing it down to that project. So the last couple meetings I've kind of gone, subline to subline, kind of shown the progress like that. And today it's more just overall progress, how the project start to finish, came together. So during construction, that is. So quick project overview, some construction photos, and then again, we'll just touch on those equilibration of the profiles. Duck, part of the four towns, ended up being about 1.43 million cubic yards, but 1.6 miles. Here's our project again. The only subline that's still in is the Diane Street subline, the one in the center of the project, and that should be out a couple days. Is that the last subline that's in? It should be out in a couple days. So. Overall, for the volumes, the Liberty Island pumped about 112 loads, and that was two loads from bar area A and one from C. So in total, that's about 2,600 miles. Straight shot from here to Key West is about 1,000 miles, so a little more than a round trip down there. Dodge Island, 208 loads, the Padre, 175. And in total, about 1.43 million cubic yards, which is about 160,000 dump trucks. That dump truck-wise, that gets you back-to-back from here to about Orlando with dump trucks. So a lot of material, a lot of miles, but as we'll see from the project, I mean, a nice large beach in the end and a great product. So here's our pre-project conditions. A few, no sand. This is a couple days before they place any sand on the beach. A couple more. They're just starting to stage their equipment. There's a pool, just on top of the dune, a little bit over. So, and then day two, pumping the pad at the Liberty Island. That's near Widgeon Street. Day six, pumping south. And then day 7, we start to see they've started to at the north end of the project, kind of coming from both ends to tie them in, or the start of that. Here we have the 3 sites, so now they've completed the Ocean Bay subline north, the taper to the north. We have the Diane Street subline location in the center, and then we have the Liberty at the south end, or the Widgeon subline that they're pumping south. June 13th, a day later, this was just the north end view again. This is looking from the south site, the Liberty site, up north. And so just kind of showing these sites coming together. So again, they had those 3 subline locations, pumping one north-south, going to the next, doing the same thing, and tying them all together. So these photos are just kind of showing the progress down the beach and how that came together. So again, here we have that northern Ocean Bay subline tying in. There's just a little bit of gap left between that and the Diane Street subline. And here, that's on the 18th, so about 10 days ago. Now we jump to the 26th, 3 days ago. We're just about tied in. We'll see from the other view, we have our completed beach now looking north from about Diane Street. Same thing 3 days ago, just that last gap to tie in before the project's complete. This was yesterday, just a little more to pump, and then finally this morning, completed project. I'm just going to pull up that. All right. So this was just flown this morning. This is starting at the south end, just past the pier. going past, and it shows kind of the equipment that's left. So they're starting to pull it at the south end of the project, tow it down there, and all that will be taken off, hopefully today, in the next few days sort of thing. This actually, this image, total it's about 2 minutes, but the drone is flying about 40, 45 miles per hour right now, so just to show you how long of a project that is and how long it takes. So this is the tie-in to those two sections right there that we're passing right now. The Dodge and the Padre moving south, and then where the Liberty had come to the north. I'm not sure what's going on right now. There we go. So a little bit of shore pipeline left this morning. Again, they're just picking that up, placing it at the south end of the project, towing it off site in the next, again, hopefully today. The only thing that does remain or will remain for a few days is that subline right here that's shown. That's at Diane Street, and that's just weather dependent. They're trying to put in a section of subline. In Kill Devil Hills today. So as soon as that's put in, they have that equipment that they can pull that subline offshore, they'll go ahead and do so. And then just to the north, we have the taper going in. This just kind of stood out. Part of the project, a few pools you can see in that photo, and then here we have, those pools are just kind of at the bottom of the screen, so you can see a little bit of before and after beach-wise. So here we have the beach before and then after, just looking down the beach from a few days ago. And just another shot from offshore, a little harder to tell from this distance, but that was this morning. Like every meeting, I'd just like to touch on this same old thing again. The just equilibration that we expect to see, that is a very wide beach. Additionally, that the sections that were built with the Dodge and the Padre had an additional 20% of material, and so we expect that to equilibrate, even further. And so here we have our construction template. Notice those two dashed lines on the outside. We start with our design, but we also have our equilibration in the design, in the construction template that we anticipate, the first 6 to 8 months. And then we also have our advanced fill, and so there's the equilibration in there that's going to happen, build the whole profile, build the sandbar, minimize those waves that hit from offshore. Then you also have your advanced fill, which is you're basically accounting for the erosion that you're expecting to see over the next 5 years. And then you have your design, which is that minimum protection you want to keep over the 5-year renourishment interval that is designed for this project. And there you go with maintenance. And just our real world example template, this is what they had placed. And this was from a couple years ago, but equilibration, that happened about 6 to 7 months, but it's not lost. It's just moved offshore. Building the sandbar, you get your wave reduction. A wave that was breaking closer to the shore, larger to the shore, is now breaking, in this example, 150 to 200 feet farther offshore, dissipating over that distance, and so you get a smaller wave hitting the beach each time. And yes, thank you to the town of Duck. Yeah, it's been a great project, and yeah, just want to say thanks to everyone. So, any questions or anything?
Hi, my question is really for, I'm Tom Dorsey with Carolina Dunes. My question is really for Chris and Sandy, and that is, can we have a quick update on the plants, the fence, and the street signs, I guess, that will be replaced?
The fencing has started. It started about June 12th on the north end of the project and is continuing south. There's only 2 guys working on it, and they're working from about 6 to noon due to the heat. So they're just about to Carolina Dunes now. I expect it'll probably take them 2 to 3 more weeks to finish. The sand fencing is only being placed on the top of the dune in the areas where the dune, or the structures came to the east edge of the dune, so there's not really like a flat surface. There's a lot of flat surface in Carolina Dunes, but there's some areas where there's not, and they're just putting it on the top of the slope at that point. Sea oats were started, and the areas that were done with by Great Lakes were planted last week, and then they were coming back today. They'll be here today to finish up the last section in the middle, which would be Carolina Dunes. The fall we'll have beach grass planted, fall, winter time, and then I'm working on some other ideas on how to get additional grass planted through volunteers and stuff like that. Street signs, I will talk to Merrick Dabrowski about that, because he should be reinstalling them as the project was progressing. So that may just be a matter of him getting his mans out, his lifeguards out there and getting the signs back installed. Thank you. This gentleman is next. If you could identify yourself.
I'm Jim Gwalney. I'm from North Point. And first, I'd like to make a comment. North Point was a fueling area. And the folks who did the fueling and involved with that did a fantastic job. I didn't see one drop of diesel anywhere, and that was a good thing. And I was surprised. And so I congratulate you on how you ran that and how you took care of that. That worked out well. Second question I have is just a curiosity thing. Has or is it ongoing, somebody measuring what has been done, and has it been done to specification?
Yes. So throughout construction, so there's basically three processes. So we'll have a design level survey, first of all, and that was done in May 2015. And then before they start, and that's on every 1,000-foot profiles. And then 3 to 6 weeks before they start, they do pre-construction surveys, which are on 500-foot intervals. And then as they go down the beach, 7 days prior, or no more than 7 days prior to them placing material anywhere, they take 100-foot profile surveys. And then they'll send us those surveys, the before and the after, and then we compare them to the construction template, and they have a 1/2 foot vertical tolerance above and below that they have to hit everywhere within that template. And
so you answered my question.
Yep.
That has been checked to
Absolutely.
What of the contract specifications?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My name's Henry Blaha. I'm with Soundsea Village. Number one, I don't want to be too picky, but a sand dune is created by the wind. Mm-hmm. And over years with nature, that's where you get the word sand dune. Mm-hmm. Bulldozers don't create sand dunes. They create sand piles. Sure. So we keep talking about dunes, and we're talking about a different thing.
Okay.
You guys did a heck of a job. You did what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Now, addressing our town manager and our mayor, we have a lot of things that were probably unexpected occurring. Occurring meaning the height of the pile of sand, the idea of getting up and getting down and getting back up as far as people that are older, people that are handicapped. There are a lot of challenges that were not addressed. I don't know if other communities that have had this done have had the same thing happen. I do know Sandbridge doesn't have the height of the pile of sand that we have. I know that Wrightsville Beach doesn't have it. I know that Emerald Isle doesn't have it. So however that structure was, there's going to have to be a way to compensate, at least until nature takes over and we get some storms and we use these entrances to continue. So I hope that is a priority with the town. Thank you.
Do you mean to comment? We actually have sent notices out to all the homeowner associations and oceanfront property owners last week that there will be a town council meeting next Wednesday, their regular scheduled meeting. At that meeting, they'll be discussing dune walkovers in the nourished area because we understand that it's a 5-to-1 slope, so it's manageable. For some, it's going to be difficult for others, and it's a long distance. So they're going to be discussing options and what's going to be allowed in the nourished area until it equilibrates. Understand, any ordinance that they adopt can be changed if we find that the situation deems it necessary. So if you didn't get that email, let me know, and I will resend it if anyone here wants a copy of it. It had the preliminary staff report and the draft ordinances that will be presented to council, and council will discuss that at their Wednesday meeting. You can identify yourself as well.
My name is Michelle. I work for Carolina Designs Realty. Not super relevant to this group, but just wondering if I could ask 2 quick questions about the KDH project.
Sure.
Subline construction started today between 2nd and 3rd. Is that right? Do you know?
The subline's going to be installed. Yeah. Have they started that? Do you know the subline going in just north of 2nd Street? Yeah, in Kill Devil Hills. Is it? Okay. So yeah, it's been installed.
Okay, and pumping started at Landing?
Correct.
Okay.
At 7:15 this morning.
Do you know if they're going to move north or south from that point?
South to finish the taper, and then
Towards Prospect? Towards
correct.
the end? Okay.
Correct. And then at that point reassess because then we get into the Dodge and the Padre aren't going to be here. They'll be here for another 7 to 10 days. And so that was the whole reason to switch to Kill Devil Hills because the bar area is closer. And so they wanted to maximize the time with the Dodge and the Padre. So they're going to pump south to the end of the taper, and then at that point, basically reassess depending on how long that takes.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
My name is Adel Abdallah. I'm a Carolina Dunes resident. I really don't have a question as much as a comment. I want to commend the town as well as the engineering that you guys have done. It's a tremendous job. We've been owners for about 12 years, and I honestly did not think we would have a house in the years to come. I commend the town for Sandy and I have communicated on a ton of times. This is the first time I see you. It's a pleasure. I just want to express my gratitude for all of you guys for all the work. What you guys have done is amazing, and I've been watching you from my house. It is beyond my expectation and my family's expectation. Thank you so much. I'm proud to be a resident of the town because you guys listen and you plan and you do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we really appreciate it, and we've really appreciated being here in Duck. I mean, just working with the citizens, the town. I mean, it has been fantastic, and I mean, even Great Lakes. I mean, just because of how great you guys have been. Even with the overwalks, there was some sand, some issues with that. They went ahead and rented an extra piece of equipment and flattened out all the areas by the sand or the overwalks to make sure everyone could walk up to the beach. And so it's it's just been a great project. And it's been great to work here. So, yeah, thank you. Well, if there's no more questions, I mean, it has been great. I'm sure you guys are happy to see everyone leave, but we'll be in Kill Devil Hills and Kitty Hawk for the next few months. But yeah, thanks again, everyone.